Hey guys, back again with a new format in which I will talk about favorite graphic novels, series, just comics that stayed with me, that left a mark in my head. And one of them is The Spectre by John Ostrander and Tom Mandrake, who's the artist on it. And I will tell you a little bit about the surroundings of the series. It's from DC Comics, it's from the early 90s, so it's not necessarily, a place one would want to revisit. The early 90s in general, with Marvel Comics, mutant, small heads, big guns, bullshit, and the whole, Image Comics, which was basically Marvel superstar creators moving over and creating their own stupid big guns with little guns behind them series. But everyone remembers Vertigo Comics from the early 90s because they were pretty great. It was a label that DC put on their more mature readers oriented books like Hellblazer, Sandman, Swamp Thing, Doom Patrol, Shape the Changing Man, my personal favorite, and a few others. And but those were like secluded from the rest of their mainstream line, which was probably a very good thing because it's like the death of Superman era. It's a time where DC Comics doesn't really know how to respond to this thing that they started basically with Dark Knight Returns and Watchmen, right? So the Spectre comes along, and the Spectre is you can really see this particular era of comics in this series. So in a way, it's very violent, it's very gritty, it's very dark. On the other hand, you can see that the author tries to bring in something more to it, there is a lot of biblical undertone to this. There is a straightforwardness in storytelling which isn't just like by chance, but it's really very much intended. It has a very noirish feel about it. So it's a very interesting mix and it holds up pretty well, especially the writing. What is it about? It's about Jim Corrigan, who is a cop in New York. He got shot, and he's not allowed to. His soul or his spirit is not allowed to rest. So it's a classical ghost story. The ghost who just wants to take revenge, to make things right. To correct a wrong that was done to him. And this is what the comic is about. So Jim Corrigan becomes the Spectre, and he's haunting bad people, or he's getting into situations and tries to break them and to make things right. And he has a very clear vision of what is right and what is wrong, and this is somehow appealing in a way that it doesn't go into this whole, relativistic thinking, which we're very used to now. But it goes more back to an archaic, Old Testament kind of, this is wrong and this is right and this is how you should do it. But the interesting part, of course, about the series is that he gets into situations in modern life where black and white doesn't work. And this is where the comic is getting really interesting. I won't spoil any, story or whatever, because I think it's a very affordable read. I think it's $20 each. There are 2 volumes out. You should sample the first one. If you like it, the second one is just as good. Unfortunately, DC discontinued this line. Those are like the first 22, 23 issues, and I think the series went on for another 30 or 40. I haven't read those, so I can't comment on those, but what I read here was really grabbing me, and you can see like from the covers, this is like in your face. This is like really, really strong stuff. The title is Wrath of God. crimes and judgment. So it's like really tough stuff, but written very intelligently. So yeah, there's that. It's a very good good night reading. I did this before going to sleep, and you know, you become much more of a hero in your dreams if you read this before going to sleep. So check it out, guys. It's really, really good mainstream comics. Yeah, there's that. Have fun with it and see you next time. Bye bye.